I have previously raised widespread concerns about the operation of the National Assets Management Agency. This is public money, billions of euros worth of public assets being sold off by NAMA for vulture capitalists behind closed doors without any democratic oversight. And NAMA has been ordered by the government to wind up faster than its 2020 remit, also raising concerns about a fire sale of assets, and we also have raised this issue here many times. Sinn Féin has little confidence, Ira, that the government is protecting the public interest. Now, Minister Noonan was aware of concerns at the sale of NAMA's northern portfolio before it even happened, because it was raised here in the Dáil by Teachta Pearse Doherty. And last week, allegations by Teachta McWallace suggest insider trading and political cronyism in that sale. These loans had a value of $4.5 billion, but NAMA allegedly sold them to the US vulture capital firm Cerberus for just $1.3 billion. Another US firm, PIMCO, withdrew from the sales process in March last year after it brought to NAMA's attention an attempt by a former NAMA advisor, Frank Cushnahan, to solicit payments. Now, did NAMA report this whole business to the Minister? Did NAMA report to Minister Noonan the reasons for PIMCO's withdrawal? And if it didn't, is not a question that needs answered. And if it did, just 3 weeks after the withdrawal of PIMCO, how did the Cerberus deal proceed, considering the involvement of many of the same actors? So, Minister, will you accept that this latest scandal demands the establishment of a commission of investigation into the management and the operation of NAMA?
Minister.
No, I don't accept that. I mean, the issue we set up as an Oireachtas, the asset management agency, to recover maximum value for the Exchequer, and we put in place a board chaired by the former chairman of the Revenue Commissioners to conduct that business, and they had a very clear mandate to deliver best value. They weren't told as to how they were to conduct their sales or whether they should be done individually or bundling. They were told to secure best value, but they were told to be overseen by the Oireachtas via the Controller and Auditor General and through the PAC. So a system was put in place to give them the necessary discretion to make the interests in the best interest of the taxpayer to maximise value, but at the same time the Oireachtas had this oversight mechanism, and it has pursued that faithfully, and it has reported faithfully in respect of this. Now, the issue as to whether the sale of a loan realises the book value, you know, and if you don't know, I mean, you can consult the records of the House. A lot of the book value of the loans that were in these banks were had only a tiny proportion of the real value that was loaned in their books. That was the nature of the crash that we experienced. So there is no question that you can expect NAMA to realise the full book value of loans that were transferred to NAMA at a very substantial haircut, as you know. Now, I don't know on the individual loans, and nor is that a matter of public knowledge, what haircut was applied to the different elements of the bundle that was here. But it's very clear that they did not have the book value and nowhere near it. So NAMA has dealt with this in the way I outlined. It was by open tender. It was a competitive tender. It was overseen with the presence of the Controller and Auditor General's representative. It was subject to audit in the normal way. It was subject to report back to the PAC. The issue of the involvement on the other side of the trade, if you like, of possible fee structures, they were brought to the attention of NAMA's board. They acted properly to disallow the company that was trading in such a way or bidding in such a way. They obviously informed the Minister of the board's decision, as they should, and they then proceeded, when the successful tender came through, to seek the assurances that no such fee was being paid, and they received those assurances from the successful bidder. So, I think NAMA has behaved properly in the way that they've conducted their business here, and I I think that's, it speaks for itself, the record of the way they handle this.
Deputy Adams. Thank you, Ira. So the Minister was told, and the sale proceeded, despite all of these players still being involved. And one of the conditions of the sale process of the Northern portfolio following the withdrawal of PIMCO was that no former director should receive payment as a result of NAMA transactions. But we know that the law firm involved in the Ceisteanna deal had $7 million lodged in an offshore account. Now, $7 million is an awful lot of money, an awful lot of public money. And you say you don't accept there should be a commission of investigation into this. The Minister has been silent on these matters. I have asked him, and I have written to him to make a statement. He has said nothing. So this government, and I've seen it time out of time since I've come in here, messes about, prevaricates, puts in the long finger, kicks up the road, and doesn't move smartly and sharply. Why would you not establish a commission of investigation? Why wouldn't you do it? Let the issue be dealt with by those who have the authority, the ability, the resources and the capacity to deal with them.
Thank you, Deputy.
So I'll finish now, Concordia. The other point to be made is this, is that the government's proposing to parcel up all of NAMA's remaining portfolios to be disposed of in one sale. And I understand that Ceisteanna is a leading bidder in that. In the same week that this scandal emerged, the government introduced legislation to cut payments to lone parents. You brought in legislation to pickpocket citizens' incomes to pay your water charges. And you increased the six-figure pensions of former Taoiseach and ministers. Now, surely that type of commitment, that type of zeal when dealing with ordinary people needs to be matched with a commitment to dealing with issues of corruption and graft that are causing so much anger. So I ask you again to reflect on your answer and to establish a commission of investigation into the management and the operation of NAMA.
Thank you.
I don't accept what the Deputy is saying. I mean, the Minister for Finance was informed, as I said, that the board of NAMA had decided that the person the company who had this compliance problem should not participate. They were debarred. So it wasn't the case, as you're trying to suggest to the House, that the Minister allowed this go ahead despite such players being involved. They were deliberately excluded from the process. Furthermore, the successful bidder, which came out at the end of the process, was asked to give an undertaking, and that undertaking was given, and I have the text of it. We confirm that no fee, commission or other remuneration or payment is payable to any current or former member of the board of the National Asset Management Agency, any current or former member of the executive of NAMA, or any current or former member of an advisory committee of NAMA in connection with any aspect of our participation in the Project Eagle sales process. So they got a categorical confirmation of what the position is. So there is an issue, obviously, in respect of fees, as you say, that are in an account and are due to be paid. But those matters are being investigated by the Law Society and they are being investigated in respect of by the Northern Ireland Assembly. So this isn't a case of NAMA, as you seek to suggest, that NAMA, who is now proceeding to dispose of its assets, having been found wanting in this. NAMA conducted itself in a proper way. It was found to have dealt with this in a proper way, and it is answerable to the PAC and are happy to go before the PAC on Thursday to account for their stewardship. That is the way this matter should be held. We don't need inquiries at every moment's notice. We need an Oireachtas that can conduct a questioning of the relevant people, and that's what will happen, and that's the way we should proceed with our business.
Deputy Maureen O'Sullivan, thank you.
Thank you. We're coming towards the Dáil recess next week, and when we come back in September it will be into budget time, and already the pre-budget submissions are coming in, and no doubt the government will want to show the growth and the improvement and the recovery, as you did with the Spring Economic Statement. And just looking at two statistics from the Spring Economic Statement, the general